Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com. Shamelessly displaying my state of mind, but you walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Good morning. I'm feeling like singing this morning, but I'll spare you. But I'll still say it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Dr. Lauren, and we're here. It's Thursday. Woo! We're doing it, making our way through. Weekend will be here before you know it. I am headed to Atlanta tomorrow. Y'all know why, maybe you don't. I'm so excited. It's so much fun. God is so good, ain't he though? He will just give you things that just keep you going. How in the world? How in the world indeed? Listen, I'm headed to Atlanta tomorrow to film my role in my second movie. Now, who would have known, right? I wouldn't have. I would have never expected. Fatal Betrayal is the name of the movie. I'll keep you informed as that thing. I'm in the last, I think, 10 or 20 minutes of it. So I've been watching all the cast do their thing in our private chat for about, I don't know, 8 months now. And so I'm so excited to head off to Atlanta. District Attorney Michaels Harris. They even use my real name in it. So I'm really excited. Listen, you guys, send some prayers for travel and for all of us that are doing this work down there. And I thank you for that in advance. Right there, that's the bell of purpose. I ring it on purpose. It is not a gimmick. It's not just some simple show prop. I refer to it. I think it is more of an opportunity. Why? Because there's a lot going on in our worlds today, but we should never be so busy that we miss the truth. You know why? The truth is the only thing in this universe that never changes and will never change on us. So I ring that bell when there's some real talk going on so you don't miss it. So that's what that's all about. And at this point of the show, I ask you to help me welcome my sidekick. She's been here for 7 years with me. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Did you guys see I got another Lucy doll on the Easter Bunny? Y'all know who that is, my spouse. Got it. It was in my Easter basket. Look back there. It's a kind of a glare on it. I'll get it out next week when I'm back and show you guys. It's the one from, because every one of those dolls is from a specific episode. This one is when she was, remember, I am the queen of the gypsies. Queen, queen, queen of the gypsies. One of my favorites. And I have Vita Vita Benjamin. Remember that? Now all I need is the Chocolate Factory. My other favorite episode. I love me some Lucy. I'm not kidding. Brilliant woman. Inventor of the 3-camera technique of filming. Did you know that? A lot of people don't know that about Lucille Ball. She was a brilliant woman. I mean it. She really was. And she could actually sing. Did you know that? I read every book about her. She was so inspiring. So anyway, that's my little chit chat for the morning. Let's get to it, shall we? Come on in. I see y'all. Somebody dragging a little booty today, coming in a little slow, but that's all right. Better late than never. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Thursday edition. So listen, real quick, last thing. We will have, because I'm in the air tomorrow during the show, on my way to Atlanta to film that movie. Y'all, God is good. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Those are words that deceive. Yes, I can believe it, because if you don't believe it, you can't receive it. So quit saying I don't believe it like I just did. Those are words that deceive. I can believe it. God can do anything. Can I get an amen? Wait, I'll put one on the screen. There. I ain't scared. There it is. I can get an amen up there. So anyway, manifest your dreams. Ask God to give you what you need first. And as you do that, he will provide everything you want as well, as long as it serves you. Anything that can help us ease suffering in this world, God's all for it. If we like it, he loves it. So that's that. My guest today, listen, today what'd you do? When you woke up, what was the first thing you did? Most of us jumped out of bed and ran to pee, right? Then I go down and walking you through that. I'm just keeping it real. You do. We head to the bathroom. Then we do our little thing. Then we go down. Some of us turn on the coffee. I turn on NPR radio. Get Alexa, get my I better not say that too loud. Everyone in the house. You can say Alexa in the front yard, and every Alexa in the house gonna answer you. They're getting creepy. They better quit butting in too before I put them in a garage sale. I done told them those Alexas, they're getting smarter. But anyway, what my point is we get up and we go through our routines. We don't give it a second thought. But can you imagine from one day to the next? Tuesday, you were up running around doing whatever you wanted to do. And then the next day, thing you know, you're bedridden. Can't get up, can't do much for yourself. Well, today's guest knows how that feels because she's living inside that reality right now. Alma Thomas is here today, and I spoke with her last week when we had our little discovery call getting ready for today. And it was just touched my spirit, y'all. It really did. Touched my spirit. She's a minister. She's a speaker. I believe even, Alma, are you an author? I think she is. I'm going to, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm looking. Because I saw something about her. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, she is. She's a speaker. She's an author. She's a spoken word artist. We might get her to spit a little something this morning. What y'all think? But a grief coach. But most importantly, today, we're going to talk about the fact that Alma Thomas is a stroke survivor. I don't think it was a few years back she had it. She's been bedridden right around maybe a little over 2 years now. But she wants to talk to us today about the conditions of, sometimes when people have these different things. I know people that, have some type of an ailment, a stroke or an accident, and they have to go to these rehab centers to get better, right? Well, not something a lot of people talk about, but we're going to talk about it today. So I'm so proud of Alma. She's coming to us from her bed in her home. She's actually holding her camera in her hand. I said, girl, your arm going to have to go back to the rehab place after this hour, but hey, that's how important it is to her to get her message out. You guys put some hearts on the screen for real. I'm telling you, would you feel like doing a show if you couldn't get out of bed? Probably not. Right? But Alma's here because she wants to pour into us. That's what she does. And God is good. Put your hearts on the screen. She's coming down the hall right now. Alma Thomas. Okay, Alma Thomas.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Blessed, highly favored, living in dominion, just like you. What about you?
Amen. Amen. I'm feeling great this morning. I'm excited to be here on today. I'm excited about telling my story, empowering, inspiring someone today. Because if we can inspire just one person every day, our living won't be in vain.
I almost burst into song, but something put a spiritual hand over my mouth. So y'all lucked out. I'm gonna tell you, Alma, I am so thrilled to meet you and have you in my space now, not just today, but moving forward. What an awesome and inspiring story you have. Now, I saw some pictures on your Instagram where you were up in the pulpit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little makeup on, was look good, hair was all did, and that wasn't so long ago. Now, in the big scheme of things, take us down. Well, let's start with this. Where were you born and raised? Where you live right now, Alma?
Right now, I live in New York. I live on Long Island.
Oh.
I was born in the deep South in Mississippi.
Oh.
And at 3 years old, we migrated to New York, and I've been on Long Island ever since. I attended elementary school, high school, college, everything on Long Island. The mother of 2 children, one here on earth and one in heaven.
Oh.
I'm a single mom. Like you said, I'm a motivational speaker, an author, and I began these things before. It's what you were saying when you opened up is right. It's like you don't think about walking and writing and all those things. You just take them for granted that you'll be able to do them for the rest of your life. So on April 23rd, I went to work. I'm a retired Head Start teacher.
Now, what year was that, Alma?
In 2021.
Right. Yes. Dog. Dick. Almost say I'm trying not to cuss. See, not trying to, because I was gonna say damn near. I said it. There it is. Like yesterday.
Yeah. So
right now, everybody think about what you were doing in 2021.
Yes,
Think
I
about it.
remember. That was the year I was like, "This is my year. This is my year." And on April 23rd, I went to work. Where I was saying that I work with 3 and 4 year olds. So I went to work and I came home and I was having a master class for authors, and I had the meeting, and then I went to bed and I felt something strange. Not knowing that it was a stroke, just a strange feeling. And I laid down and I lost the whole control of my body, everything. And I went to the hospital, and when I got to the hospital, they said that I was breathing at less than 10%. They didn't give me a chance of recovery. They told my mother that I would never walk, talk, or anything again, that I would be a vegetable. They wanted to hook me up to a ventilator. They told my family the next day to all gather around if they wanted to see me alive again.
Oh,
And so it was a very traumatic experience. But you know how good God is, that I
tell us.
have asthma. So when I can't breathe, I can feel like an elephant sitting on my chest. But that time when they said I was breathing at less than 10%, I didn't even feel like I wasn't breathing good, because God had me on his ventilator, and
Okay.
he was breathing the breath of life into me. So I didn't feel like this was unto death, because I know we're not here forever, but I have enough of a relationship with God that I think that he would give me some kind of sign that it was time to come home. And I didn't have that sign, I didn't have that feeling. So I was believing that this wasn't unto death. I didn't understand why at first, but now, years after, I understand that it wasn't for me, but it was for somebody who lacked faith, somebody who was going through just little things and want to throw in a towel. And so I'm an example of don't never give up, because I'm going to talk a little bit about the nursing home in a minute, but
Yeah.
don't never give up. We all, God has a plan and a purpose for our life, and the cemetery is full of unfulfilled potential and dead dreams and visions. Don't die with your vision and your purpose inside of you, but whatever it is that you're driven to do, live out your dream. It's just like you said, you can't believe, but you can believe. I have a saying that I think it was from Martin Luther King, and he says, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can receive it, then you can achieve it.
Mm.
So that's what I think about every day, that my life is not over. I don't concentrate on these old legs don't move like they used to move, because every day I'm getting better and making more progress. So I really believe deep in my heart that God has promised me that I'm going to walk again. So this is just a
Mhm.
temporary situation. I'm
Yes.
just going through the process. But anyway, back to the
Let me
nursing
ask
home.
you something real quick before we move forward. I want to ask you now because I just want people, and then I'm going to show a short clip I found from a report of deplorable rehabilitation center. One particular one has nothing to do with your story, but to set the stage of what it looks like, so that when you start talking about people, go, oh my goodness. Now listen. So you're telling us that day you got up to go to the daycare center where you were working, right? The
Yeah.
no preschool.
Yes, I went to preschool that
Yeah,
day.
you went there, but that day that you had, you came home, when you got dressed that morning, you put your shoes on, you put your clothes on, you brushed your teeth, you made your food. That was the last time that you did all those things for yourself.
Yes.
And that, ooh, okay. Just let that sit there for a second, y'all. Think about it. Think about everything you've done so far this morning. Okay. And if you're watching the replay, whatever time of day it is, go back to the start of the day. Now, Can you even fathom how you would process if tomorrow at this time you were done for the time being, at least 2 years, like it's been for Alma, doing those things that you've done so far in this day? I'm talking about gratitude and about the grace that we live within, that we take for granted. So, Alma, what a man. I don't know. Well, you're going to share with us how you do it. You're going to share with us how you do it. Let's take a look at this clip real quick. And I want you to tell us where then you can go. Then I want you to go into what it was like for you when you're ready. And then tell us if this looks anything like, or was it worse? So hold on. Let me pull that up. Here, let's take a look. This is like not even a minute's worth because I skipped around and found the part so you all could see inside. Take a listen.
It's devastating, I feel real helpless.
Jennifer Carter took this video in the Hospitality Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Xenia.
Sunday I come in and it was just deplorable conditions. There were bugs, and my son expressed that he was scared of the bugs, and that was kind of just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Carter's 28-year-old son has been at the facility since May for a traumatic brain injury, and this is not the only issue she's had.
My son had a wheelchair that did not fit him. I asked multiple times for one that would fit him. He tried to transfer one day from the bed to the wheelchair. The wheel broke out from underneath the wheelchair. He fell into the floor.
According to the Ohio Department of Aging's website, the center has a...
Now, did you guys notice out in the front yard there was a pretty big sign of protest that said neglected, understaffed? Those words stand out or mean anything to you, Alma?
Yes, because when I first got to the rehab, it was during, COVID. And when I first got to the rehab, there were 5 people on the floor taking care of the residents. By the time I was ready to leave, there were 2 people expected to take care of the residents. They're saying the staff is not allowed to say it, but the staff was saying, we're understaffed. They expect us to do all these residents, and they expect you to turn them two times a day, answer the call bell. Sometimes you ring the call bell and nobody comes for hours.
For hours. What about, so Alma, you mentioned that people have, especially, let's talk about your situation. You're bedridden, you can't do it for yourself, but they want to turn you so you don't get decubitus ulcers. I used to be an orderly. That's how I know y'all. Bed sores is the common term. Things like that, because you got to be moved to relieve the pressure, and that's horrible. People die from that.
Right, but that is the only thing that they worry about at the nursing home. It's like when you complain, they're like, well, at least you don't have a bed sore. Well, at least I don't have a bed sore, but it's all right. Okay, I'm going to go back. Till I put something on Facebook because I wasn't changed. So I reached out on Facebook and I told all my friends and family to call, I'm going to say it, Park Avenue. And instead of the administration being upset that I was in my own feces and urine for 72 hours, they was upset with me because I put it on Facebook. What do you mean? Why are you not addressing the issue? Why are you upset with me because I put it on Facebook? And so the first time when they asked me to take it off of Facebook, I took it down. And then the next they swore it would never happen again. It would never happen again. But while I was in the nursing home, I was attacked 4 times by a resident. They told me to move to another floor, but I was comfortable in the floor I was in. Why should I have to move? Because she's coming into my room, into my space. I'm laying here and can't get out of bed, and she's coming and taking my stuff. She hit me with a shoe one time. She hit me with a bottle, and they didn't do anything until she squeezed my arm and put a mark in my arm. And my mother and sister was calling up there like, what is going on, that my sister can't walk and she's being attacked in her room. And then they was like, well, she has every right to be here. Yes, she has every right to be here, but she had dementia. So I wasn't mad at
I was gonna
the
say.
I wasn't mad at the patient because she couldn't help it. But I was mad at the facility because they knew that she needed a one-on-one and they didn't provide it. They had her walking up and down the hallway with her clothes off, digging in the dirty clothes basket, which was full of urine and feces, and they're supposed to have a camera, so you should see her in places she's not supposed to be
And a lot
and
of those
do
places,
something.
a lot of the facilities will have a memory care unit, or where they're locked, where they can't get out to do that sort of thing. So they're kind of behind on that.
Right, they had one, but we was on the floor of people who hadn't had their COVID shot yet. So
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's right. So it was double, because even when things were right before COVID, I know a little bit because I was responsible for the care of my late uncle, Uncle Walter. Hey, Uncle Walter. And I'll tell you, when my mom passed, his care fell to me. He lived with her until she passed, right? And so the family put him in a rehab, really a nursing home, right, where he could still be there, because he had dementia. And you're right, brand new the shoes I bought him for my mom's funeral. I came back the next day, the shoes were gone. Brand new. I don't know if a staff member took them or a resident took them, but he was saying that people keep coming in my room and stuff. So he told me, I'm gonna tell you what did it, Alma. It wasn't even 3 weeks, and Uncle Walter looked me in the eye and he said, Lauren, I need you to get me out of here. I'm going to die if I stay here. That's all it took. Because I was like, for real, Uncle Walter? He said, for real. So I got him in an adult foster home, which is like a private home with just like 3 or 4 residents and a beautiful family that cared for him until he transitioned. So I get it. I saw it, and there was no way I would leave Uncle Walter there. So let me ask you about this, Alma. First of all, set the stage for us. How big was the facility? So you said 2 people at the end. How many patients would you say were in there?
on each floor, it was like 38 patients. It's an 8th floor facility. When you go there and they wheel you in, you're like, wow, this place is beautiful. And, until they get you upstairs and you see that they only care about the beauty of the place, but not the patients. They only care about getting 5 stars. And I don't know how they have 5 stars because everybody that I talked to hated that place. Um, as I was saying that I'm allergic to mushrooms. Twice they gave me mushrooms, and right on the slip it says no mushrooms. And the first time the mushrooms was hidden in the vegetable soup and they wasn't supposed to have mushrooms in it. So instead of the chef saying I'm sorry or whatever, the chef was like there's no mushrooms in the soup, but yet um the nurse had the mushrooms in her hand, so I put the mushrooms in my own soup, and then the next day he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." The assistant chef put mushrooms, but he never apologized to me, and I stopped eating there after a while because they put your name on your tray, and if you get people in trouble, you don't know what they'll do to your food.
That's right. So let
So
me ask you this. You were there for how long?
I was there for 2 years. They held me prisoner for 2 years because I was trying to get out of there for 2 years. Every day they were giving me excuses. The social worker wasn't doing what she's supposed to do. And I'm not a social worker. I'm a teacher. I can teach you your ABCs, but I don't know anything about social work. So there was things that you had to do with the state and all this stuff. And she never told me. So I was doing all this stuff on my own. And she was saying, well, you did this and you, yes, because I want to get out of here. you're telling me that I need 24-hour care, but I don't even get 24-hour care here. I see a nursing staff 3 times a day. That when they come in and change you, it's the only time I saw a nursing staff. So I'm not getting 20.
How did they cloak this from your friends and family? I'm assuming you had visitors at least from time to time. Yes.
Yes.
So what was their response when they came in? And because I already know, and y'all, let's keep it real, for real. The first thing I used to have to pray, Lord, give me the strength to go see Uncle Walter today, because I already knew as soon as I walked in that place, the smell alone was going. I was like, oh Lord, let me get used to it fast and put some Vicks or something. You know what I mean? It was difficult. So how did your family respond to those conditions?
Well, see, the thing was the place was clean, but it was the way they treated the residents and my family. Like I told you before, they told me to take something off of Facebook because my friends and family was calling. And I remember one particular incident where the nurse in charge came to me and she wanted to see my phone. She wanted to delete the Facebook post off my phone, and she grabbed my tablet, and the nurse that was in the room with her said, "You can't touch her stuff like that." So my parents, my mother and my sister was always calling up there because I would have to call. I would call home and say they're not changing me. One time when I was attacked by the other patient, my mom was on the phone with me, so she heard me screaming, "Help! Help! Help!"
Yeah.
And my sister had to call downstairs and tell them that I was being attacked. And then the nurse that was on duty, she was crying, but it wasn't her fault. How can you give out medication? The nurse's aides was changing people. How can you change people, give out medication, and watch the woman who needed to be supervised 24/7?
Right. That's just too much for anybody. Now,
right,
let me ask you this. Now, a lot of people are most likely assuming that, okay, well, why isn't the family not just calling, but coming there? But these rehab centers aren't like, they're not sometimes close to home. I know people that had to go, way across the state to get into. There may be some close to home, but they may be full and not have any room or don't specialize in what it is you need. So how far from your family or Long Island was this facility?
It was only 45 minutes away. So my family did come and talk to them. And when you came and talked to them, when they did show up, they would be like, first of all, they would try to make my family think that I was crazy, that they were giving me my medication. And I just didn't remember that they gave it to me. But I remember because, like I told you before, my cognitive skills never left. So I know when they did give me my medication, and the next nurses would know because my blood pressure would be up. So I was complaining like, I'm not getting my medication on time. And they was like, well, you have a 2-hour window to give you medication. I said, but where is the window? If you're not getting your medication at all, what window do you have? If I'm getting my medication sometimes from morning at 1:30, 2:30, all different times. So what is the 2 hours? So they would make my family think like, oh, we gave her the medication and she don't remember. And then I remember one time I had COVID. I caught COVID there. And instead of them testing me for COVID, because I told them I was feverish, and I felt terrible, and they didn't test me for COVID until one resident had COVID, and then they had to test everyone. Then they tried to call my family and say, "Oh, we randomly tested everybody, and your sister has COVID." That was a lie. I told them that I had COVID, and they knew that the two nurses' aides that worked closely with me had COVID. So it was
They knew that they had COVID while they were working.
yes, they knew that they had COVID because they were off after they had found out they had COVID. Then they was off for like 2 weeks,
So
and then when
how did you get to the point, Alma, where you were getting some traction as far as finally moving the needle towards leaving there and coming home where you are now? How long was it from? I know you were there 2 years, but did it take 2 months, 3 months from the time you said, I'm getting out of here? How long was that process?
it took a year of every day them saying that I'm gonna go home, but she had never ordered my hospital bed. So how was I gonna go home and I had no hospital bed? So she was saying that that I was going home, but I wasn't because she hadn't started any of the process. Like they wanted me to sign over. This is when they really um worked on getting me home was when my friends was calling there every day. I was putting it on Facebook and they didn't like when I put them on Facebook. So I was putting it on Facebook like I'm being held here against my will. I want to go home. And then I remember the administrator said, told my sister, she can leave here now because she was getting upset with me. So she was like, she can leave here now if she wants to. We're not holding her hostage. But what happened was they didn't want me to go to another nursing home because that makes them look bad that I'm in one nursing home and go to another. So they
Go
tried
to
to make
another.
it seem like I was the troublemaker. So I'm a troublemaker
So
because
Alma, what do you think about? I mean, here you have cognitive abilities. Now, if you're going through all this and you're thinking clearly and whatnot, there's so many other people, patients, and they're people. They're people that can't speak up. So tell us about why, after you get home, like now, you have these conversations. What is it you would like to see happen? What do you think needs? What needs to be done? And I mean, I think it's our responsibility as friends and family members too, to what I'm saying, to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. So tell us why you do the work you do now.
that is primary the reason why. Some more. That is primary the reason why is because I felt like I had a voice and I had a family that was on it and calling and
And it's
coming
still,
by
and you were
and
still stuck.
there's many people who don't have a voice and they don't have family that's coming by and checking on them and they're assuming that everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, but they are not. They are understaffed, but still taking more and more people in.
What
So,
was it like? Let me ask you this. Like now, when you go to sleep at home at nighttime and the house is shut down, it's nice and quiet, huh?
yes.
So tell us, what was it like trying to sleep? Was it nice and quiet at night?
Oh my goodness, no.
I already knew.
Um, there was one woman who screamed 24/7. That if at first I thought that she was in some sort of distress, but she screamed for everything. If she dropped her remote, she was screaming. If she wanted her bedding changed, she was screaming. All night long, you would hear people screaming and yelling for help. One particular incident, I had a roommate and she was complaining of chest pains. So she was on a narcotic. So they were just thinking that if they could give her narcotic and she would go to sleep and forget she wanted to go to the hospital. But she was complaining of her chest. So I was telling her, I was like, maybe you should just call the ambulance yourself because they're refusing to call the ambulance.
Good
So
idea.
she called the ambulance and she was out of the facility for a week because she was having a mild heart attack. but they were trying to drug her so
She'd be quiet.
she would be quiet and go to sleep. But she was like, I just don't feel right. I know my body. I don't feel right. And whenever you ask them a question, they act like you're the retarded one. Like, I was like, where's my roommate? Oh, she stayed in the hospital for observation. For observation for a whole week.
Yeah.
And when she came back, she was like, I had a mild heart attack. But they were ignoring her. Like when I said I had COVID, they were like, oh, she just don't want to go to physical therapy. And I was like, I'm a grown woman. If I don't want to go to physical therapy like I've done before, if I don't feel good, if I'm in pain, I'm not going.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not going. I'm not making up no symptoms.
Right.
I'm not no kindergartner that I'm making up symptoms. And I guess they felt when I got out of there, I was just gonna go away. But I'm not going away because those people need a voice. Most of them are at the end of their life. They deserve dignity.
Thank you.
They
That's the word I
deserve
just wrote
nurturing.
down.
Like
Thank
the people who are there, you should care about people, not just want a paycheck. It's just like I work with kids. And if I just wanted a paycheck, it's not like we're working with boxes, but we're working with people. So you have to have, you have to be nurturing and compassionate, and you never know when it might happen to you. I was walking around on the 23rd, walking around making plans for the next day. I never planned that I would end up in ICU the next day. You see how fragile life is. One day you can be up, and the next minute you can be down.
Amen.
So you should think about those things. Like, what if somebody, just like they gave me this rotten banana? I mean, it was brown, 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 brown. And I put that on Facebook.
So brown, you wouldn't even put it in a banana pudding.
No, you wouldn't even put it in a banana pudding. It was so brown it looked like a turd. And I put it on Facebook.
Not a turd.
Yes, I put it on Facebook, and I asked people, would you serve this to your mama? And everybody was like, no, disgusting. What is that? And I was like, this is the banana that they just gave me this morning. And you're like, would you?
Oh, what happened to your voice? We can't hear you. There you go. You must.
Can you hear me now?
You must have got a phone call.
Yes, I got a phone call. I don't know how to stop the phone calls. So the conditions, like when you look at the place, you're like, oh, this is nice. And then when the state comes, okay, if I'm gonna,
they calling again.
And I say to you, tonight at 8:00, I'm gonna break into your house and steal your TV. You would be prepared for me to come at 8:00 and break into your house. So the same thing with the state. The state tells them when they're coming, and
they clean up everything.
Yeah, they prepare for the state. And when I talked to the state, because they had the state talk to me, because I called the Attorney General's office.
Wow.
And I was like, they have cold water, like they would cut the water off, but to fix it or whatever. But you understand things happen, but they should be prepared
a
for
backup
things like that. To have wipes, or tell the nurses' aides that they're gonna cut off the water so they can gather some. But no, in the dead of winter, they wanted to wash me up with freezing cold water. I said, I'd rather the urine stay on me than you put that freezing cold water on me in the dead of winter.
Let me ask you something, Alma. You mentioned the word, and I had just written it down, so I know we're supposed to hit it before we get out of here. We have a few minutes left. Dignity. Let's talk about that. Now, when the day comes and you rise from that bed and you're back on your feet, and we know that that is the healing that is headed for you. We claim that.
Man.
So when that happens, how will this desire to be a voice, where will it be in your life then, you think? Do you think it'll go away because you're back on your feet? Or is this something, no matter what, you will continue to champion for change? How long? I mean, do you think you'll do this forever to help?
Forever, as long as there's people suffering in these nursing homes, I'm gonna be speaking out because, like I said, I could talk and these things still happen to me at the nursing home. So what's happening? And you hear conversations like they knew a particular nurse's aide was hitting the patients, and they were like, "Well, we can't say nothing because they'll ostracize us." But it's just like when I work in a classroom, if my aide or my assistant was hitting a child, it's my moral responsibility. I don't care how they're going to blackmail me, blacklist me. It's to say something. But they're so scared for their jobs that they don't speak out and say. And when they say, like, we're short staffed and stuff like that, they get in trouble. They're not supposed to tell the residents that they're short staffed. But if I'm ringing my bell for an hour and you're not coming, I would rather you tell me, "Oh, we're a little short staffed today," than me just assume you're just not answering my bell.
I'm going to say this too for everybody listening. As I sit here and I listen to your story, Alma, and I think about the people in my journey that I have visited in nursing homes, my grandmother, and then Uncle Walter, and then all the people that you pass in the hallways while you're on your way to see them. To just turn a blind eye, to me, is the equivalent. It's a form of human sacrifice.
Right.
Because how can we cannot become as a people, or we should not become as a people, so desensitized that this does not matter. So what are some of the resources that you came across that people, if they just go to visit, you can go visit a stranger just to see if there is one of these facilities within 5 miles of where you lay your head. Maybe the moral responsibility as a community member is to go check on your community members, the forgotten, and just see. So let's say hypothetically that someone did that and they walked in and they saw what you saw. What is the first order of business in your opinion? Is it to call your state's attorney general, or what's the process?
But to me, every facility is supposed to have a watch, someone who watches over them. But if people are not calling and not talking and not saying anything, then they can pretend that it's not happening. So to me is to call the legislators and people who are running for office, because it seems like since those elderly people can't vote, that they're being forgotten about. But you are a voter, so if you start calling and complaining and not voting for people who are not for the elderly and protecting their rights, these people have worked all their lives, and now you just throw them in a home and forget about them.
I saw when I was looking for a clip, I saw a clip where a worker was saying, these people were pilots. They were our professors, civil servants. They contributed to the world they lived in, and now they've been basically discarded. I want to ask you this. I was like, well, what could they do? Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing, Alma, is if in order for you to have one of these facilities, you would have to put in cameras everywhere that you didn't watch, that say like that there was a 911 center, but a center where they just randomly could open the camera and watch what's going on at any given time. Do you think something like that would make people do better in these situations?
Yes, because they know that at any time, it's just like when you have a camera in a classroom, you're not gonna hit a student or talk rough to a student because you never know when somebody is watching you. But people will do a lot of things when nobody can see them. It's just like, and they have cameras now, but people know where they're outside of the scope of the camera and they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So the cameras should be monitored by the state.
That's what I feel. Or some private watchdog group. You know what I mean? Because, shoot, I'm going to just say it. You know, bureaucracy, if it's the state, if it's going to make them look bad, they're going to be a part of the cover-up too.
Right.
Like, we already know that's happening. So let's pivot if we can, because I don't want to miss this, what I feel one of the most important parts of your story. Let's talk about how this experience of going from, you know, independence, you know, in the pulpit as a minister, teaching little ones in the classroom, to the situation, you know, you now find yourself in, and how this has affected your relationship with God, your higher power. How has this, what has it done for the soil that is, you know, beneath your feet? You know, has it fertilized it? What has it done? How has this affected your walk, your spiritual walk?
It has made me stronger because it's just like Job. He said, "Though you slay me, yet will I trust you." The three Hebrew boys said, "Even if you don't do it, I know you're able." So it strengthened my relationship because I understand that this is not for me, but it is for someone else to be empowered. It's for someone else to be inspired by just looking at my journey and the way that I haven't given up. Like each and every one of us, God has a plan and a purpose for our life. Don't die with your purpose inside of you. There are cemeteries that are full of unfulfilled potential and dead dreams and visions. Once we leave here, we can't do nothing. So while we are here, make the most of every day. Live your life to the fullest. I don't focus on these old legs that don't work like they used to, but I focus on the fact that I can still talk, so I can still teach Bible school from my bed. I can still do master classes from my bed. I can still inspire people from my bed. Like you said, I wrote 2 books before I had the stroke. And after I had the stroke, I've written 2 books. One, Surviving a Stroke Against All Odds, which comes with a healing journey. Shameless plug.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
They're revamping my website. When my website is up, go to my website, order my books, because the money, I started a scholarship in my son's honor, the Tyshawn Thomas Friends and Family Scholarship. I plan to give out some this year, and I'm using the money for my stroke recovery and the things that I need. So go to my new website as soon as it's up and order those books from me.
What is the website, Alma? So we can write it down and keep checking.
I don't know. I have to speak to my website designer today, but I would definitely get it to you.
You'll get it to me and I'll get it to them. Last question. We're just about out of time. If you could leave all of us with just one thing to remember that you have taken, you know, that golden bar of blessing that you could give us from this entire experience, not just the stroke and all of it, but your entire journey up to today. What would be the most important thing you would want us to never forget?
Never forget to keep chasing your dreams. Whatever it is that you desire to do, if it's make that movie, if it's write that book, if it's sing that song, whatever dream that you have shaken to sleep, thinking you could never have, I double dog dare you on today to dream again.
There you go. Alma, I just love you. Thank you. I'm going to tell you, y'all, for real. I'm looking at this. It's not missing me. And I'm certainly hoping and praying that it doesn't miss any of you. Don't take anything for granted and ask yourself, if that were me laying in that bed, would I have what it takes to still care enough about pouring into others, no matter what, that nothing in this world could stop me? Ask yourself that question and then listen closely to your heart for the answer. Alma, thank you. What an inspiration you are. Let's stay in touch. Get that website to me ASAP when you get it, and keep doing what you're doing. What an honor it is to know you, and you are a true blessing. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. Safe travels. And I'm looking to see you on that movie.
I'll make sure it's you. I'm telling you, Alma, thank you. God bless you. And listen to all of you out there. I will see you, God willing, back here in this chair Tuesday morning, but there will be some great replays for you tomorrow and Monday. Please send traveling prayers and mercies as I head to Atlanta tomorrow for the shooting of Fatal Betrayal. And in the meantime, get out there today and every day. Ask for everything within your power. We are the only creatures in this world with the power to speak, which gives us dominion. Use it to remove those things that do not serve us. The longer we wait, the more time we give them to trick us into serving them. Take that with you now and have a divine day. And in closing, I say it and I mean it again. I love every single one of you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Get out of here. I'll see you guys soon. God bless you. Thank you, Alma. Love you. Take care. Great job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Goodbye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you.